In fact, G2 are the ones who, at the very hands of another team, had to deal with Candelas being dropped inside of construction on Oregon, which blinded Uno on the Fenrir. He also banned away, just sat inside of the double doors. And after the round, but up until just a second ago, they only had 2 out on the field. They had 4 sat in back pocket. They've really wanted to keep them away from the Solus, only using them when absolutely necessary to push on forwards. And as you've seen from Alamau, he's very happy to step up and contest inside of admin itself. Now, Coated has no idea that he's walking in blind in towards Benja, and this is what I mean. When you can't drone anything out, they'll catch you with these kind of plays that otherwise would be dead easy to figure out with a little bit of drone work. So great strategy coming into this round by G2.
DPlus could be in trouble if Benja's going to find his form and start firing like he did yesterday.
Oh boy.
Absolutely on fire. Soldier does manage to catch the back end of somebody. No, doesn't land any shots actually. I think it was Alamau that was just running away from him but didn't manage to find any. Does find a kill for himself though onto Harper. Doki finds one as well. Soldier with a little bit of an island in the middle of a storm there as Benja manages to get the trade as well. 4 versus 1, and it's going to be all up to Woogieman. DPlus just not really present in this round, to be honest with you, Des. They've not taken any control. They've not really troubled G2. They've not had any vertical threat whatsoever. They've not really managed to establish them inside of themselves inside of Consulate.
Nice little trade coming in. What I do love is the side causing absolute havoc along that hallway. And I love here how for G2, we aren't seeing a repeat of the previous round trying to abuse the Solus, to mute the Mozzie. It is a total change up in style and strategy.
Yash just making sure that things are clear before heading on into admin. Uno is on the opposite side of there, and he was waiting, I think, for exactly that noise. He was using the audio cue of the rappel coming through, and that's an absolutely beautiful pre-placed nitro. Yas never stood a chance.
He did not. Just again, not really getting information below.
Another one.
C4. It's like going fishing for these guys. I mean, Benja, I mentioned it before, but back at SI, he was top for explosive kills with about 34. In second place with Foxay with 17. He doubled second place for the number of C4 and frag grenade kills that he got at that tournament. You are going to see Benja doing this all tournament long, and it is so hard to stop him.
We've got Woogieman working up Spiral whilst Harper is still inside of admin, just trying to take these battles, open the wall, just trying to dislodge G2 in any way possible. Sends out the flash to provide a little bit of cover, but Uno, he's well aware of Woogieman coming up to the top of Spiral here, and Woogieman, whether by luck or measurement, is going to drop himself back a little bit.
We're 2 minutes in, and they're only just getting break opened up as well. These C4s have been so disruptive, and it's forced DPlus to rethink everything, double, triple check every single step they're making. They haven't even started challenging into this main hallway yet, really. Woogie working his way up. He's definitely going to work in towards that. A great nade onto Benja, who was sat behind the vending machine. So they are starting to break it open more from the north side here than from the east, but they've still got to work their way in, Tim. These 2 players out towards the east, Soldier and Harper, are all that's left.
Virtue does manage to pick up Woogieman eventually. I feel like a little bit of a mistake from G2 there. I mean, you know, let's not discount the fact that it was good play on the side of Woogieman, but I feel like G2 knew that he was in that position. Uno was watching it, but he was still able to pick 2 up. Doki.
And blown the desk open, which forced Benja away, but there was no one there alongside Woogie to capitalise once he got opened up. At least here they're having some entry success though, Tim. It's Coated finding Doki, and Coated had a hell of a game yesterday, hasn't got a kill for himself outside of the one he collected just now. I really hope we see him warm into this game and deliver like he did yesterday.
Alamau is going to level things up with one against Yas. Yas and Coated, of course, being the 2 big players yesterday, so taking either of them is always going to be a big positive. G2 getting caught out up on that top floor. It was Doki who was playing up there, coming out with the nitros again. I don't know whether that's going to find a kill. The explosion doesn't seem to. Alamau manages to find Coated though, and those are the 2 big players on the side of DPlus Kia over the last couple of days that you'd be hoping to take down. But Woogieman, I was going to say Woogieman is still a thing, but he's not, as he gets removed by Benja, who picks up a cheeky double, and all of a sudden in a matter of 15 seconds we go to a 4 versus 1 in favour of G2.
Harper stood in the entryway to the building here. Like, they've barely managed to set a foot inside Consulate because G2 have just been ready, and really with Coated getting inside of the west hallway, that feels like the furthest they got inside the building, and even then it's just in through a very short walk from the window out towards yellow. So G2 again just making this look extremely easy right now. And I remember actually seeing a tweet yesterday from Coated to Doki, basically just saying, please go easy on us, because they really expected to get slammed about in this game, and so far that is exactly what is happening. I think maybe we'll see a timeout after this round as well.
You're taking a risk taking G2 to Consulate.
Taking them anywhere, Tim.
At the minute, yes.
The thing is, Consulate's not even a top map for them. It's like a mid-tier map.
It's not, but
they're using it to play against
great
weaker
performances.
Teams.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
we've seen some great performances, and if G2 can find the space on Consular, they will hurt you with it, and that's exactly what they're showing us. DPlus just, I think, maybe leaning into that tactical timeout, just taking the opportunity to grab a few seconds of the top floor. It's going to be up to Doki on the other side to be trying to hold on. Benja supporting as well. Yas is moving up, so DPlus are now getting the numbers upstairs. They're starting to, pressure G2 a little bit, make them think about their location. How long do they hold on for? How much time do they try to burn?
They found Benja, who they know is trying to play for a C4 from below. Not sure where he slipped away to, though. They'll be chasing him down here, trying to find. There we go, found once again. He's got to be careful because he will get pushed here. There's someone pushing in, I think, above him as well. In fact, he's got support as well. That's the ideal part here. G2 looking to back him up. They know how deadly he is with those C4s. Why not give him some cover at the same time?
Yeah, DPlus now pretty much got that top floor, so they're going to start working to soften things up on site. But Virtue, he knows somebody's going to come in through yellow door. And this is the thing, there's two players stood watching the same angle, except one of them can wait forever and the other cannot. DPlus having to push in here. It's going to be Woogie. Virtue hears him, goes down and gets himself an easy kill. That's going to level things up as Doki finds Jas as well. 3 versus 3, 30 seconds. The clock is going to become the 6th man if DPlus aren't careful, Des.
They're a lot on the west side of the building, I want to say, here as well. Yeah, all scattered out that way. You've got the Dokebi moving in on the ground floor, but outside of that, sorry, up on the 2nd floor, but outside of that, yeah, the focus is entirely out towards yellow, so Virtue's going to be the main man here. He's already found Coated lower down, looking for a second. Doki gets another, and Virtue completes the 3K.
Again, DPlus just never really getting into a position
to look out for. This is the problem. They're still trying to figure things out. Harper really I've been looking at because he's the one with the hard breach in back pocket. He's the one to open a critical wall for them. But at the minute, hasn't used a single exothermic. They've got 45 seconds still to play with. They're getting swung on for free. It's absolutely crumbling once again.
It is 4 versus 3 as Benja steps out of that breach, manages to get one. Alamau finds another. Virtue's challenging onto the window here. He's actually going to give himself away as Woogieman was ready for that one. Plant is going down. Soldier might be able to stick this. He's just going to be given a bit of extra juice from the Finker, and he's, there you go, going to give it another go now. I think there's nobody in a position to challenge. All of G2 are over on this far side, and they're going to have to move back in a retake. This is actually very difficult for G2. You've got Soldier out of the window as well. Woogieman was already on rappel. It's going to be very, very difficult to get onto this diffuser.
And 2 different angles. Really need to make a play down yellow stairs here and make a run out happen. But the Claymores, as we've already seen, has claimed 1 victim this round. Benja needs to respect that there may well be another one ready and waiting.
I wonder if Uno could block the window off with the shield.
One outside
if he's going to give it a go. He's right up there. Benja does get taken down, and with Uno being the last alive now, it's not going to be an option. I don't think the clash is tall enough, is the problem. They've had the upside down repel information back into his team. Not sure he's going to get drawn out here. Woogie's just trying to find out what's going on. Doki will be picked up, but straight back up those Visa stairs. Woogie, however, does find Benja. That is a great opener for DPlus. Halfway into the round, 1 minute 30 left as Virtue levels things up with one onto Yas. 4 versus 4. And just looking at the minute, DPlus are getting themselves inside of admin as well. So as much as they've had a good start here, there's a little bit of a concern for me that they're just going to find themselves again pushing headlong into that G2 defense at the top of Visa stairs and struggling to clear it.
Still unifying Doki sat in here, just burning down the clock with those Kiva barriers as he has done every single time they've played this top floor. I tell you what, I didn't expect to see a ghost coming up the bottom of those stairs as well. 3 players from DPlus slowly starting to work their way through. Uno coming in behind for the backstab. He's going to get rid of Woogie. That stairs cleared yet again. And Uno has just been stalking him the entire round, Tim.
Yeah, it's been difficult for DPlus because they know they can't get away with the plant that they did last time. Harper manages to not only to open the wall, but find the kill onto Doki as well. Uno, however, finds Coated elsewhere, and Harper on about 5 HP is left with 30 seconds to find 3 kills. Can't find one as Uno shuts him down. Good game so far from Uno, and that's going to be G2
for no reason. The problem here being that Doki might get swung on at any second, as there is one off towards his right that I don't think he's fully aware of. Managed to get away with it. Who cares?
He has now.
Oh, here comes Coated. I mean, again, trade play from G2. Beautiful once more.
I'm going to bring up yesterday's point, though. I'm sorry to do it, Doki, but Doki was bringing that Dokkaebi yesterday, and again, not making much use of that universal gadget, not making much use of those phone calls because he was losing his life before he got to that point, before they were really utilised. And again, inside of 1 minute 20, that Dokkaebi's off the board. If it's going to be available, we've seen a high ban rate for that operator. Where it's available and you can utilise it, you want to make sure you're getting every drop out of the abilities, out of the utility, everything else. So again, Doki, we need to see on the attack that operator getting into those later stages as well.
Absolutely. Well, really the other thing I'm looking at is the fact there's a Thermite and 2 sets of hard breach gadgets, both in the back pockets of Alamau and Uno. They really wanted to guarantee that they had some hard breach coming into this round, even though it's devolved into a little bit, I don't want to say team deathmatch, but it has been this bit of a frag-heavy game, chasing each other around. I know we've only had the 1-for-1 so far, but you can just see with how everything's angling up here that this more likely than not come down to a lot of kills.
Uno's just going to be holding that angle on the breach, hoping for anybody to move themselves past pillars into yellow stairs. Virtue moves up there, so that should free Uno up to take an alternative angle, which indeed he does. He's just going to look a little bit deeper instead, looking to support Virtue's push in towards side. Gets taken down. Alamau found one along the way. 3 versus 3, but G2 will lose this by attrition if this carries on. Harper manages to pick up Benja. Soldier onto Virtue. 3 versus 1. Alamau, unlikely to be able to do anything, and Alamau is hoping to do.
They wanted the bees to go deeper onto the Azami, I think, who's not been hit by them, and that was going to be the trigger for Alamau to go, but here he goes anyway. He's going to give it a good whirl. He's straight inside as well. Woogie off onto 1. Alamau's going to find one posted off towards the other side as the sense rolls on through. It is full blind for both teams here, but it's a 3v2 for G2.
There's a good possibility this works out for G2 as another kill comes in. Benja onto Woogie Man. The diffuser is not going down. It's not even in hand, so they're going to have to find kills here. They're looking for the last man. Harper, he's just wriggling, trying to stay alive at the minute. Manages to find one after they found him, but there's still 2 hunters on his tail at the minute, and he is low health, just hovering inside a bathroom, hoping to catch one and make this a 1v1. But G2 very smartly have taken the foot off the gas. They've gone and found that diffuser, and Alamau is getting the plant down. I love that from G2.
Very nice.
Doesn't need it in the end, but that was definitely the right decision to their advantage. So G2 maybe not doing the same. Doki's just going to look to walk on into sight. He knows this one there. He thought there was an opportunity for a quick cheap kill, but he has to turn back to take down that default cam, or he finds himself at major disadvantage. Harper is going to cut him down with the Alder.
And Benja's gone down to a Capcan trap. Wonderful. I think even with coated at the long angle after opening up that wall and Doki knowing there was a player there, it's still the Maestro that walks away with that initial kill. Uno's got the right idea here, steps in, easy shot onto the head, and there's no one really around to stop Uno here, being inside of sight and getting a plant down. If he drops the smokes, at least he's safe on that cover. Otherwise, Yas could be a little bit of a party stealer.
Yeah, I think maybe just moving around a little bit too much inside of sight at the minute. Uno is going to walk himself into trouble if he's not careful. Takes the shots, sees the man up above. Alamau manages to level things up. Uno thinking about a plant, but can't do it while Yas is above.
He's also being watched by one of these cameras as well, so it's a bit difficult at the moment. Even with smoke down, they're going to be able to see what's going on, even if it is tucked in behind that table. And by the looks of it, DPlus might have done this unless Uno can clutch up big here. He's got to find both Yas and Soldier.
Yeah, it was a 1 versus 3 to begin with. He's got the first, but 2 more to find, and with that verticality above him, it's not going to be easy, and this is where G2 might actually rue not going in and taking that top floor. They've decided to go straight to site, but this is the gamble, this is the risk that you take in doing so, and right now all that Uno can do is sort of just reposition himself, see if he can get away from that long angle, but he cannot.
The ground floor does show they want to make sure that this is a very, very secure part of the map for them to get to work on the vertical. So it will still probably be another 20 seconds or so. I say that. Actually, they've already got to work inside of Expo. Just those ram gadgets. She's ramming a hole through the floor the whole way through to open everything up. It's going to feel like the sky is falling for members of DPlus, in fact. And it will force them to get out of garage and have to play a bit deeper. But let's not forget, Tim, that's where they played last time. And already, G2 have gone fishing and found one on the vertical.
Vertical superiority paying dividends. Woogie Man was actually a little bit closer to an engagement than maybe he realised there. I think he's still considering getting himself up those stairs and getting a little bit aggressive. But for the time being, he's just sort of holding the line and waiting. But the drone is going to go down and will surely, there you go, pick them up. They're playing at the bottom of the stairs. So Soldier has to drop away, but look at this. You know, they're like ants over a picnic at the minute, G2, just absolutely swarming over that top floor, looking through every vertical, trying to pick up another kill. And I think if they get another one, that'll be the signal then to get themselves down into sight.
We want the shield out the way here, should get taken away this time. And he gets a player! Harper! Not quite respected the fact that when nades coming in from above and pays the price. He knew that one went off just a few seconds prior, but with those kills, it means they could try and look in for a plan. Doki taken down does open up a little bit of a hole. Woogie finding 2. Woogie making it a second. This is dangerous. Real dangerous for G2.
Yeah, Wookie's gone huge for his team there. Desperately needed. Has a little game ring around the rosy to play here. Cannot find his man, but eventually does. Kick down Virtue. It's all up to Benja. 1v3 after being in a frost mat. Surely not, Des. He's got Diffuser in hand. He's just trying to bait out the attack. He wants the gunfight, but I don't think that Soldier's going to give it to him.
And he knows that he's going to be planting at this point as well, so Soldier can just play a little bit more. Benja had the right idea, to be fair to him. Soldier was rounding the corner in that last second or so, and almost starting off here looking in towards window with a nade flying in from above, but nothing to be found, at least deep inside the site for now. A couple of players stacked up. Doki also with a nade on side. One thing G2 have done well in this half, I'll give it to them, is really good use of the nades.
Uno's going to pick up Yas. That's a great start for G2. Of course, looking for that one round that's going to get them this. Virtue's getting absolutely hassled from every which way. Soldier picks one, courted the other, and Benja levels things out with a trade at 3 versus 3 now. G2 getting aggressive again. We've seen this from them already, but on low health, he can't win the gunfight. Soldier cuts him down with a headshot. Benja gone. 3 versus 2 DPlus Kia. They could be taking us all the way to 12 here, Des.
The reaction time of some of these pros just terrifies me. Like, Benja's rounded that corner first, and Soldier has still hit left mouse button, found his head first. Really good stuff, and they're holding up firm here, Tim. I'm absolutely with you. I'm not going to say that it's out of reason that Alamau and Uno can't clutch this in a 2 versus 3. They've still got half a round to play with, for example, but you can see they're a little bit short on options, and Woogie just shows a little bit too much of himself, quite literally, to Alamau, who brings it to a 2v2.
Yeah, it's difficult. You look at that and think, is there any reason for him to be taking a look around that door realistically? But they need the information at the same time. Soldier is low health. Uno just trying to bait them out a little bit at the minute, and it works. He picks up 1, he picks up 2, he picks up Consulate as G2 send themselves onto 2-0 in the Swiss here in Atlanta.
Like I say, you just can't count any of these G2 players out when they're in a man-down situation. This is another chance to bring it back. A little bit nervy in that second half, admittedly, but they'll take a 7-4.